I would like to file a motion to have charges all dismissed due to the Speedy Trial Act. And I don't think it's very fair that with having to go against people that have 8 years of schooling versus my hour and a half. Like, there's no way that will have 30 days to be able to study and defend myself from the time of this trial. You gave me bogus laws to look up and information, and you were biased.
I would suggest you apply for a lawyer instead of just complaining about it.
All right, folks, today we've got one of the most clueless so-called sovereign citizens I've ever seen. It's honestly hard to believe people like this still exist in 2025. This guy can barely read, yet he thinks he can walk into court and represent himself like some kind of legal expert. His big complaint? He says the trial isn't fair because he only had 1 hour to study the law, while the prosecutor had 7 years of law school. You can't make this stuff up. That's like entering a marathon with no training and blaming the pros for being too prepared. This is going to be a rough ride, but also pretty entertaining. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as we dive into this wild courtroom moment.
People of the state of Michigan versus Benjamin Macario Martinez, 237407 ST, 226707 ST, and 162435 FY. Concerning the matters then we were set over from last time, Mr. Downing, in regard to the underlying matters that are left open, has there been any progress?
Your Honor, an offer, I believe, was extended to Mr. Martinez by letter dated June 8th, while he's been incarcerated in the jail. We have not heard what his response is, so I will leave it to Mr. Martinez whether he wishes to enter a plea pursuant to that on the 2 files he has to that offer, or seek an adjournment.
All right, we're also here for sentencing on a number of contempt. So in regard to the 2 open charges, Mr. Martinez, and you're proceeding here today in general, are you choosing to proceed without a lawyer here today?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
So concerning the 2 files that remain open, 6707 and 7407, Ms. Cass apparently sent you another offer after we had court last time. Mr. Martinez, I have no idea what that offer is. The court is not part of any plea bargaining. You have both of these cases here. What is your position in respect to whatever they sent you?
I would like to file a motion to have charges all dismissed due to the Speedy Trial Act. And also, I didn't get, last time we were in court, I expressed to the court that I wasn't able to have reasonable time or inadequate law books. They're old. I only got an hour and a half. I only know some rules for an hour and a half of studying. So out of my freedom of speech and the rules of professional conduct, I'd like to read my motion.
Wow. This man is clearly struggling just to read, yet here he is trying to file and read his own motions in court like he's a seasoned attorney. Be honest, what would you say his reading level is? I'd guess around 6th grade, and that's being generous. But the most surprising part? He's actually upset that he didn't have more time to study the law. Like, seriously? Does he expect the judge to hit pause on everything for the next few years so he can earn a law degree? The sense of entitlement here is off the charts. Back in the day, if you didn't know how to do something, you found someone who did. You didn't throw a fit and expect the system to wait on you. The court already gave him options. Hire a lawyer, use a public defender, or represent yourself if you actually know what you're doing. Clearly, he doesn't. What's next? Is he going to ask for time to get sworn into the Supreme Court? Let me know your thoughts on this one. Now let's jump back in.
All right, go right ahead.
For every waste of time and the more money of the people and their state, I would like to say this under the right of free speech, and I would like to invoke on my rights, civil and state laws, to state and file motions and to be treated fairly by judge and prosecution, to uphold all the laws that are to be held in the courts, and so as me representing myself can have a fair chance without having rights infringed upon by any members of the court, and I'm doing so. I'd like to file a motion to have all charges dismissed upon my rights being infringed and violated. Due to these reasons, rights to speedy trial, and to have adequate time to with representing myself, and in doing so, these are my civil rights and need to be enforced and protected. Not enough time to study, even after motion, or the judge throughout plea, not able to study in a reasonable time, having defended myself when it was brought to the court's attention and prosecution. If need to, it's all on court record, transcripts and rights of trial by jury, and adequate time to have my own witnesses, which are under the time frame, and the prosecution knowingly didn't explain what or help me, which is repugnant and biased by the court, and for also the court saying and giving false advice, and also for my bond being excessive and also biased in setting bond by stating it's more than fair when I was unable to bond out. And when it was amended, I have reasons why 30 days from the timeline of being able to represent myself is being infringed on. And I'd like to have my trial by jurors, and these are the few offhand as to why. Most of the Speedy Trial Act and also False Pretense Act 774.49, they have to abide by all Supreme Court rules and also rules of professional conduct. Opinion 4, which is federal, asking for help retaining for motion. Prosecutors Rule 3.8, didn't take action or all actions, making sure my rights were protected. And Rules 4.3, if they know the law and what I'm saying, these are US Supreme Court, Michigan rules. And
Is anyone else just waiting for the judge to cut him off with something like, nice speech, but motion denied? Because honestly, that's exactly where this is heading. This guy really didn't need to read his motion like he was giving a historic speech. And I've got a strong feeling the judge let him go on just for the sake of letting the courtroom hear it play out. Pure entertainment at this point. Realistically, judges can deny pointless motions on the spot, especially when they waste the court's time. And this one, classic example. That's exactly why Rule 11 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure exists, to prevent baseless filings like this. Courts are fully allowed to sanction people for it. Still, maybe this guy believes if he keeps talking, the judge will suddenly come around to his sovereign logic and toss the whole case. But let's be honest, there's no chance that's happening.
Impartial trial, miscarriage, also People versus Lehman, stating that I shouldn't be in jail or in prison for fines when able to prove I was unable to meet the court's obligations. And I was also in jail during the time of the one failure to appear. And I don't think it's very fair that with having to go against people that have 8 years of schooling versus my